Hi everyone, it's Mike Bryant with Hometown Realty, and today I am with Bryan Barner from Foundation Recovery Systems. Wanted to talk to Bryan a little bit about his business and the services they provide. Thanks for coming and seeing us, Bryan.
Thanks for having me out, Mike.
So tell me a little bit about Foundation Recovery Systems.
Foundation Recovery Systems was started 27 years ago by owner Jeff Martin, who actually set up operations in Moberly. That became the headquarters for a while. Then they expanded again, keeping the Moberly operation in place, expanded to Kansas City, where our office is in Lee Summit. And we have also got a set up in Springfield area as well.
So you cover a very wide geographic area.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the menu of services. What are the different kind of things that Foundation Recovery Systems does?
Okay. Obviously, foundation repair. We do wall stabilization, crawl space encapsulation, and my personal specialty is the concrete leveling category.
Okay, so concrete leveling, so like mud jacking.
Yeah, but no.
No. Okay, so tell me what's different about what you guys do.
Mud jacking. There's still certain applications that it's okay for, but polyjacking is the superior way to lift concrete, lift steps, lift interior slabs back into position. It utilizes polyurethane foam. Everybody's seen the This Old House episodes where you're spraying foam in the rafters and it expands out. Mm-hmm. Well, this is kind of like that, only formulated for this type of industry. They've actually used the same type of poly that we use under superhighways to hold up semi-truck traffic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what's the main advantage of the poly versus the more traditional mud jacking? What's really the difference?
I'd say in a word, durability.
Mm-hmm.
The poly will last much, much longer because it's waterproof. Obviously, anything with mud jacking will be water soluble.
Okay.
So longevity, durability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the cause now? Somebody's got a sidewalk or front steps or driveway that is starting to collapse or starting to drop. What is actually the cause of that, and can that be avoided?
Yeah, many times it can, especially new homeowners. Listen up. You're going to want to make sure your downspouts are not pouring directly onto your driveway. You want your downspouts buried in the ground, and you want them running 15 feet away from your house.
Wow, that's rare. I don't see a whole lot of that. I see it sometimes, but it's not that frequent that we see that. Well, usually the builders just put the downspout down in the splash block right there, and it's just all running out right there.
Well, yeah, we've all seen that, and it's prevalent. But the reason for it, Mike, is that when a house is dug, it's basically nothing more than a pond, right? It's called there's a phenomenon known as the clay bowl effect. So you've got this big bowl that you stick a house in, and normally the contractors know this because they put a drain tile around the footing of the house, right? Well, that drain tile's either got to be, it's supposed to run to daylight, or it's supposed to go to a sump pump, right? So they know the water comes down in the loose soil down to the bottom of the clay bowl, and it goes toward the house. Well, many of the cases, after several years that the drain tile gets clogged, silted up, the water has nowhere to go. So it raises up on the foundation walls, and we're getting off concrete leveling. But not only will getting your drains running away from the house at least 15 feet, the average space for that backfill, the loose soil up against the house, is 12 feet. So we want to get beyond that.
Right.
And it'll save not only your concrete from washing out underneath, your sidewalks, etc., but it'll keep water from coming back into the clay bowl, back toward your foundation, and could potentially save you some huge foundation repair bills in the future just by addressing the water runoff issues.
So that also explains a lot of the sort of water in the basement or water coming up from underneath the slab, things like that. It's all water pressure and clay soil and all the expansion and contraction stuff going on.
Exactly. That's actually called hydrostatic pressure. When the drain tiles get clogged, water climbs the walls, and the pressure, I mean, you figure water's 8 pounds per gallon, right?
Right.
That's a lot of weight. That's a lot of pressure. Now you've got the weight of the water is one thing, but now it's causing your clay soil to expand 4 times its size, pushing against the foundation walls.
Yeah.
So there's several. I've been in several homes where the walls have buckled in, bowing walls. not
Yeah.
a good thing. Need
Yeah.
to address that water issue.
And there's a lot to pay attention to as a homeowner. So we talk about this
yeah.
a lot when we go through inspections and whatnot. So when you're a homeowner, you have an extra responsibility to make sure that all of the systems that are built, the gutters, the downspouts,
Right.
where all that rainwater goes, the grading towards your foundation, if you have what's called a negative grade where it runs to the foundation,
Right.
it's not a good thing.
Bad juju.
Bad thing.
Bad.
So let's say a homeowner has some daylight they can see under their driveway, or there's a void there, or they're seeing some settling, or they're seeing some issues in the basement, and they call you.
Yeah.
So then what do they expect from there? What happens?
Well, call me. I'll get you on my personal schedule. And then when I show up at your door, you can be guaranteed of a few things. One, I'm going to do a very, very thorough inspection. I'm not just going to look for concrete issues. I'm going to look around your house and make sure I don't see anything else that maybe you can be proactive about. Doesn't mean you're going to buy anything at that particular moment in time. It just means you're going to be advised that, hey, you've got this going out, and you might want to watch that. Okay. With your permission, I'm going to take a lot of pictures, but I'm going to assess the situation very thoroughly. And obviously, you know me for years. I'm not a high pressure guy,
Right,
so I'm just
right.
going to come out there and help serve you the best way I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things, and like he talked about the clay soil, a lot of these things, some of it's prevention, but some of it is you just have to repair it once it gets into a condition where
Yeah.
it needs to be repaired.
Absolutely.
And so
Yeah.
you give free estimates, I imagine.
Totally free.
So
Absolutely.
no obligation. So get multiple opinions. If you do have an issue that you need to get it addressed, certainly call Bryan and his team, and they can come out and take a look at what's going on. But then also the prevention part of it, if you don't have these issues happening yet, don't assume that they're never going to happen. You want to really look closely at what's going on around your foundation, your gutters, your downspouts. We've
Absolutely.
seen more gutters that fail, downspouts that are clogged. I drive by houses all the time, see downspouts falling off, and no one's paying any attention. And meanwhile, 10 or 15 years will go by, and the next thing you know, there's a huge foundation problem that's costing tens of thousands of dollars maybe to fix.
There's a huge price tag to be paid for. I meant to get around to that.
Yeah, to neglect. So, okay, very good. Well, Bryan, I appreciate it. It's very useful. Call Bryan if you have any questions about anything related to your property. Have him come out and take a look at it. They're experts in a lot of different fields, in a lot of different areas of the foundation repair business, and I trust them a lot. So,
thank you.
All right.
I appreciate that.
Thanks for coming out, and good talking to you.
Thank you.
All
Good talking
right.
to you, Mike.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.